Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the game where you are always aiming for the lowest score. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hello, my name's Brendan. This is my splendiferous wife, Sarah. We're from Norfolk.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Jake. This is Sarah. We're from London.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Tomek. This is my friend Rohan, and we're students at Bristol.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Joyce, and this is my husband Martin, and we're from Cornwall.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, everybody. Wonderful to have you here. Very warm welcome to Pointless, or back to Pointless in some cases. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. The only little boy in Britain who grew up with posters of Bamber Gascoigne and Bob Holness on his wall. It's my Pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hey, everybody. Hello there.
Hello.
Whose posters did you have on your wall when you were...
I had the Beatles.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's very old school. I had Kim Wilde.
Oh, lovely, Kim
Honestly,
Wilde.
still do. Hello,
There we go.
everybody. Hello to our newcomers. Hello to our returners, Brendan and Sarah. 2 shows, round 2 both times. Be lovely to see you in a head-to-head. Joyce and Martin, welcome back. Out in round 1 last time. It's unlucky, though. I'm sure we'll see you further this time. Now, on the last show, lovely Chris and Jasmine and the jackpot have been building up. They were saving to get married, saving for their honeymoon as well.
They were.
£8,000 jackpot.
Yeah.
And basketball came up, and it's been up there a long time.
It has.
But Chris,
Yeah.
huge basketball fan.
Richard is preparing the ground there for you. I don't know if you heard those words. Saving for a wedding, engagement. Yeah, it's right. It's right. It went towards that. They won. Slam dunked on a basketball.
2 pointless answers they got, didn't they?
Oh, but it's lovely, really lovely.
Yeah.
So there we are. That means today's jackpot starts off back at £1,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Now, just remember, the pair with the highest score at the end of each round gets eliminated, so you just have to keep your scores as low as you dare, and you'll be fine. Very, very best of luck to everybody. Our first category this afternoon is wet words. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first and who's going to go second on the basis of that? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns things that begin with water. There we are. Richard.
Yes, we're going to show you 7 clues on each pass. The answers to all of these clues start with water.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Here come our wet word clues, our wet word water clues, and we've got novel by Richard Adams about a group of rabbits seeking a new home. A faint design in some paper and banknotes, which is visible when held up to the light. Title shared by UK top 10 hits for Paul McCartney in 1980 and TLC in 1995. A plant which grows in streams and pools, cultivated for its peppery leaves. BBC drama series set in a comprehensive school which ran for 10 series between 2006 and 2015. Popular name for the tardigrade, a minute plump creature with 4 pairs of legs. And plants that feature in a famous series of works by Claude Monet on display at the Musée de l'Orangerie. There we are. Sarah, welcome back.
Hi.
This is your third and final attempt
It is.
at the Pointless Final. Oh, everything riding on today. Sorry, I'm not just piling on the pressure a bit. Come on. Relax, relax. Tell us more about yourself, Sarah.
So I come from Norfolk. I'm a primary school teacher, and in my spare time, obviously after looking after our own 2 children, I am also studying for my Masters in Education, and I also have a black belt in Shotokan Karate.
Shotokan karate. How many different types of karate are there?
A number.
As many as there are grains of sand on the seashore.
Yeah.
OK, right. Black belt.
Yes.
When did you get that? Years ago? Or...
Yeah, a number of years ago. I also got Teacher of the Year and Student of the Year at the county as well. That was a few years back, but yes.
Wow. Your certificate wall must be full.
Yes, it is.
That's lovely.
Where'd you put Kim Wilde?
That's a very good point. Yeah. Sarah, what are you going to go for?
I know a couple. It's just working out what could be lower. But I think I'm going to go novel by Richard Adams and go Watership Down.
Watership Down, says Sarah. Let's see how many of our 100 people agree with Sarah. Watership Down. It's right. That goes down to 59. Not bad, solid start.
Yeah, there's been all sorts of analysis over the years about what Watership Down actually represents, what the story is. It's an allegory for communism or for Christianity and all that kind of stuff. And when Richard Adams was asked, he said, it's a book about rabbits.
You make a book about rabbits,
There you
everyone's
go.
going to think it's about something else.
Aren't they just?
Yeah, poor old rabbits. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Jake, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm Jake, I'm 25, and I work for a social media company.
Very good indeed. Are you based in Shoreditch?
Well, actually, I started work for the company back in June, so I don't know where the office is based.
So it's based in the cloud?
So that was my first guess,
Yeah.
but I'm not entirely sure, but I will get back to you on that.
OK, so you genuinely have no idea. You link up with people and you meet with them in the ether?
Some would say, yes. Although I have a friend whose new flat is directly opposite the office, and I don't know where she lives either, so that doesn't help.
And the new flat's in Wolverhampton. It's extraordinary. No idea. Well, there you are. Wow. But listen, well, keep us abreast of that.
Will do.
Maybe over the course of the next 3 shows, you'll learn more. Jake, what are you going to go for on our board of water things?
So I didn't know many when I was reading them first, but then my
They
mind...
trickled down, as water so often does.
I'm not a big fan of water, actually, so I
Oh,
will tell
really?
you, I don't drink enough of it. But
Ah.
I'm going back 10 years here, and my friend used to love this show, which I think was called Waterloo Road, the BBC drama series. So I'm going to go for that, please.
Waterloo Road, says Jake. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Waterloo Road. Waterloo Road is absolutely right. 59 is the only score we have at the moment, and you whiz past it. Look at that. Down you go to 34. Very well done. 34 for Waterloo Road.
Very well played. Lovely start to your Pointless career. Yeah, Angela Griffin was an art teacher. Neil Morrissey was a maths teacher and deputy head. Oh, imagine if Neil Morrissey was really a deputy head.
I think he'd be quite strict, actually.
Do you think?
I think he would.
Oh, I think he'd be strict for like a day. And then he'd be like, oh, come on.
Maybe.
That's what. Listen, Neil, if you're watching, you might be an amazing deputy head. I don't know. It's absolutely. I'm not. I'd be a terrible deputy head.
I don't think you
Oh,
would.
actually, I don't think I would. I
I
think
don't
I'd be
think
okay.
you would. I think you'd be fine.
Although they work very hard.
They do.
Teachers work very hard, Sarah, don't they? I mean,
They
much
do.
harder than. Yeah, I think probably too hard for me.
Yeah.
I'm used to doing 45 minutes a day, mate. You know.
To be fair, during those 45 minutes, I mean, you're largely just sitting there.
Most
He's
of
largely
it,
just
I am
sitting
sitting
there. I mean,
here, to be
you do a
honest.
little bit between the rounds.
Yeah, I play a lot of online battleships.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
true.
know, that's it. I think the deputy heads probably have to work harder than I have to work.
Probably. There we go. Anyway, thank you very much indeed, Richard. Tomek, welcome.
Hello.
Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm 20 years old. I'm from Manchester, and I study in Bristol.
What are you studying?
Music.
Are you now? It's a fantastic music department at Bristol.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah. Very good news. So you're in your first year?
I'm in my final year.
In your final year?
Yes.
You must have gone as a child.
Yeah, I'm very young.
Goodness me.
It's good fun.
And that's exciting. What do you think you're going to do with your music degree?
I'm actually looking to go into film music, music editing, that sort of thing, and looking at getting music to screen.
I mean, that for me sounds like a dream, I have to say. Can't think of anything more fun. Good for you, Tomek. What are you going to go for on our board?
I really wanted Waterloo Road because I loved that show, but I'm going to say a faint design in some paper and banknotes as watermark.
Watermark, says Tomek. Let's see how many of our 100 people said watermark. Watermark is right. Well, that takes you down to 55. Well done.
I played Tomek. Yeah, do you remember when they first came out in banknotes? I mean,
So
it was
exciting.
extraordinary.
Yeah.
It was like we were all spies suddenly.
On the pound notes.
Yeah, the pound
you'd
notes had
hold
it.
it up. You go, no.
It was amazing.
I mean, a pound note in itself was pretty amazing
Yeah.
back in those
Don't
days.
get watermarks on pound coins, do you?
You certainly do not.
No.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Joyce, welcome back. Lovely to have you with us again. Tell us more about yourself, Joyce.
I'm Joyce, and I come up from Cornwall. I'm retired-ish. I do funeral celebrancy. I play golf.
How often do you play golf?
Not as often as I would like to.
Oh, that's not, is there a sort of cabal of you that gets together and plays? Is there a good team of people?
I
or
only
do you-
play with Martin
Oh, well, that's nice. A nice cabal. It's a small one, but a nice
because he's the only one who'll put up with me.
one. That's like me playing tennis. I can only play with my wife. The only person who'll put up with me. It's terrible. What I play isn't tennis at all. It's basically a game called Sorry. Just hit the ball and say, sorry. Sorry. Anyway, Joyce, what are you going to go for? This board is all yours.
I'm not sure on the Paul McCartney. The plant is watercress. I'm not sure about the little animal, and I think the bottom one is water flowers. I think I'll go for watercress.
Watercress sounds like a good idea. Let's see how many of our 100 people said watercress. It is right for the lovely peppery leaves. Oh, look, that's a great answer, Joyce. That goes down to 28. That's the best score of the round. Very well done indeed.
Shall we fill in the rest of these?
Indeed.
Not water flowers at the bottom.
No,
but
water lilies.
Water lilies. 39 points for that. The title shared by Top 10 hits for Paul McCartney and TLC.
It's either waterfall or waterfalls. I think
Waterfalls. Yeah.
Waterfalls, yeah.
Waterfalls. Would have scored 20. And do you know this last one?
Yes, water boatman.
No.
Oh,
It's not. I think I might have gone for that. But it isn't. Do you know this one at home? It's a water bear. Would have scored 3 points. If someone said, if you're a kid and your parents say, we're going to go and see the water bears, you'd be like, this is going to be the best day I've ever had.
Yeah.
In my I mean,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Bears that live in the water.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, I am interested in this. And you turn up and they're like a minute plump creature
Yeah.
with 4 pairs of legs. You'd be like, I've never heard of a water bear.
Not right.
There you go.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. We're halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. 28, Joyce. Salutations. That's a fabulous score. Best score of the past. There we are. 28. We travel up to 34. We find Jake and Sarah. Then up to 55, where we find Tomek and Rohan. And then up to 59, where we find Sarah and Brendan. You're not way ahead, but Brendan, let's have a lovely low score from you. Keep you in the game for your final attempt at the pointless final. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more clues to water things up on the board, and here they are. We've got surname of Pete, the W in the songwriting and record-producing team known as SAW, city and port in southeastern Ireland, historically famous for glassmaking, traditional Belgian soup or stew of fish or chicken with vegetables, surname of Keith, the British novelist and dramatist who wrote Billy Liar, the time after which programmes that might be unsuitable for children can be shown on television, the crisp, white-fleshed tuber of a tropical sedge used in Oriental cooking, and an Olympic sport played by teams of 7 in a swimming pool. There we are. Martin, welcome back to Pointless. Tell us more about yourself.
I'm retired, chairman of my local choir, which is the only male voice choir in the UK to be honoured with the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service. Which
Now,
is
how did you do that?
We were nominated for raising over £250,000 since the inception of the choir.
So when was the inception of the choir?
76.
I see. Well, that is amazing. That's a huge number. Martin, there you are. 28 is your score at the moment, 30 or less. Even at this early stage, would get you into the next round.
Well, seeing as I have relatives over in that part of Ireland, I'll go for the second one down and say Waterford.
Waterford, says Martin. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Waterford. There is your red line. Waterford, absolutely right. Oh, look at that. Not bad at all. 32 takes your total up to a lovely round 60.
That's a lovely answer. Very well played. Yeah, it was founded by the Vikings in the 9th century, Waterford. They've been making crystal glass there since around about 1780. Lots of sporting trophies made of Waterford crystal. The Masters Trophy in snooker is Waterford crystal.
Waterford. Thank you. Very good indeed. Now then, Rohan, welcome. Good to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Rohan.
So I'm 21 and I'm a medical student at Bristol University, and I enjoy acting in my free time.
Excellent. Plenty of acting going on there, and famous centre of acting.
Yes.
So what sort of things have you put on? Do you do comedy? Do you do
I mean, I do like all sorts. So
gritty dramas?
Yeah, so I did the play Posh by Laura Wade when I was back at school. I directed that, and that's the most recent thing I've done, really.
Very good. Now, Rohan, what are you going to go for? You're on 55.
I think I'm going to go for the Olympic sport because I think Tomek played it back in the day. So I'm going to go with water polo.
Water polo, says Rohan. Here is your red line. It's quite low. Let's see if we can get you close to that with water polo. Water polo is right. 56 takes your total up to 111.
And now, do you know why it's called water polo?
No.
Just out of interest. Genuinely, when they started it, they used to float on little barrels and they used to have sticks which they would hit the ball with.
Oh, that sounds more fun.
Yeah.
Doesn't
so-
it?
A little bit, I suppose, yeah.
I mean, would you have flippers on your feet to
Oh, I don't know. I
get
mean,
the
the
barrels.
barrels were floating, so you'd be moving
quite-
along. But yeah, so it was very
be
similar
quite
to...
hard to stay on your barrel mount, I'd have thought.
I would have thought so. But
Yeah.
listen, perhaps that was one of the skills of it.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Sarah, welcome. Lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm Sarah, and I'm a civil servant working in the digital communications team.
Very good. And what do you get up to in your spare time, Sarah?
So in my spare time, I am a bit of a gamer, so I spend a lot of time actually with Jake playing games online.
Well, that sounds fun. And it's, you know, you can kind of call it work.
Yeah.
So there we are. Sarah, you are on 34. If you can score 76 or less, round 2 beckons. What are you going to go for?
So water polo is the one I knew, and I know one other, which I'm going to go for, and it's the time after which programmes that might be on for children can be shown, and that's Watershed.
Watershed, says Sarah. Let's see how many of our 100 people agree with Sarah. There is your red line. Lovely and high. Very well done. Past the Watershed there. 57 takes your total up to 91.
Very well done. Now, the Watershed starts at 9 p.m. on free-to-air channels like BBC One. Do you know when the Watershed ends?
Oh, this is a very good question. We never think about that.
You never think about it,
Where
right?
does the Watershed end? I would imagine 4:30 a.m.
Not a million miles away. 5:30 a.m. is the end of the Watershed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
5:30. There we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Brendan, welcome back. Lovely to have you with us. Tell us more about yourself, Brendan.
So I'm a senior lecturer in creative film, television, digital media production. I do lots of amateur dramatics, do a few impressions. And I have a TARDIS, full-size TARDIS.
Do you?
From Peter Davison's era of Doctor Who.
In
my front garden. which
In the front garden? I mean, have you got a noise sound effect for the TARDIS on your phone or something?
I used to, but not anymore.
Now, 59 is your total. So 51 is what gets you through to the next round. Will you talk us through the board, please, and select an appropriately low-scoring answer?
Well, I think the top one is Waterman. I don't know what the traditional Belgian soup is. I thought it was Keith Williams, funny enough. All right, let's take a punt. Okay, let's go for Pete Waterman.
OK, Pete Waterman. Pete Waterman from SAW, Stock Aitken, and let's see if it's right. There is your red line. Can we get you below that with Waterman? Yep, you've done it. Very well done indeed. Look at that. 42 is what it scores. Takes your total up to 101.
Well done, Brendan. Safe and sound. Through to round 2 once again. Now, we'll leave the stew because it's the hardest one. Do you know the surname of Keith?
Waterhouse.
Keith Waterhouse. Yep. Absolutely wonderful writer. Would have scored you 9. The Oriental cooking?
Water chestnuts.
Water chestnut. Yep. That would have scored 18. Have you ever heard of this one, the Belgian thing?
No, it sounds delicious.
It's Waterzooi. Waterzooi. And would have scored you 1 point. Well done to the one person who got that, presumably Belgian. Oh,
Exactly.
I love some zooey.
Oh, a bit of zooey. Thank you very much indeed,
zooey.
Richard. Yeah, that brings us to the end of our first round. It means we have to say goodbye to one of our pairs. Oh, Rohan and Tomek, I'm afraid it's you. It is you. Nothing wrong with either of your answers. They were just quite high scoring, that's all. We'll see you again next time. Look forward to it very much. Meantime, thank you so much, Rohan and Tomek. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it is now time for round 2. Well, there we are, into round 2. And you'll notice one of our couples has gone. But Joyce, very well done indeed to you. You're our lowest individual scorer in that round. And Joyce and Martin, our lowest combined scorers. So fabulous work on that far podium. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 this afternoon is political geography. Can you all decide in your pairs who wants to go first, who wants to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many EU member states or capitals with an odd number of letters in their name as they could. Richard?
Yep, pretty much exactly that. Looking for any member state of the EU with an odd number of letters in its name or the capital of one of those member states. The answer has to have an odd number of letters.
The answer has to have,
whether
whatever
it's
it
a
is.
country or a capital.
Or a capital of an EU member state. There we go. Sarah, I'm just giving you a bit of time here.
No,
That's
I'm
what
ready.
I'm doing. I'm just playing. Are you OK?
I'm
You got
ready.
an answer? Oh, she's ready. She's ready. What are you going to go for?
I think I'm going to go for Sofia
Sophia.
in Bulgaria.
Sophia, let's see how many of our 100 people said Sophia. Sophia is right. Oh, it's a great answer. Down it goes to 2. Sarah? Fantastic.
What a great start to the round, Sarah. Very well played. Yeah, named after the St. Sophia Church that's in Sofia. And we can say it's the capital of Bulgaria because Bulgaria's got 8 letters.
Oh, phew. I know. I didn't know instantly. There we go. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Jake doing, as everyone is, a lot of...
That's like, that could be a gif of someone counting on their fingers. Just going...
Jake, what are we thinking?
I'm thinking of lots of states with even numbers, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm going to go with Ukraine. Please.
Ukraine.
Yes, please.
Ukraine, says Jake. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ukraine. OK, I'm afraid Ukraine is an incorrect answer. Scores you 100 points. Richard.
It's not in the EU, I'm afraid.
Oh, that would do it.
Sorry.
Ah, yes.
I mean, great on the number of letters.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's not in the EU.
That's right. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Martin.
Well, right, struggling.
EU.
Yeah, struggling. I think I'll go with Luxembourg.
Luxembourg, says Martin. That's a lot of finger counting there. Luxembourg. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Oh, no! That's great news to Jake. Less good news for you, Martin. I'm afraid Luxembourg is also incorrect. Scores 100 points.
Yeah, 10 letters, I'm afraid, which is even.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, just before we head back down the line, let's have a look at those scores. Well, it's a story of extremes, I think it's fair to say. Sarah, very well done indeed. Sarah and Brendan sitting pretty on 2 there. And then we travel all the way up to the other end of the scoreline there. 100 is where we find Martin and Joyce and Jake and Sarah. So Joyce and Sarah, it's going to be between you. Very, very best of luck. Let's come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? There we are. Joyce, remember, we're looking for any EU member state, all capital, that has an odd number of letters in its name.
OK, I'm going to have to play it safe and go with Paris.
Paris, says Joyce. Let's see how safe that is. How many of our 100 people said Paris? No red line, your joint high scorers. Well, actually, that's not bad. Down to 36. Takes your total up to 136.
Yeah, it is the capital of France.
There we are. Well done. Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Sarah, you have to score 35 or less.
Okay, I have one, but I don't know if it's correct. But I'm going to go with Belgrade.
Belgrade, says Sarah. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Belgrade. Here is your red line. No, I'm so sorry, Sarah. I'm afraid another incorrect answer scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 200.
Yeah, Belgrade, 8 letters, I'm afraid. But also Serbia, not in the EU either. So that's nice. We've combined the incorrectness of the previous 2 answers, which is nice.
Thank you. Now then, Brendan. Listen, you got a free pass here. You got a free pass. Shall we see if we can find a pointless answer? There's got to be some.
OK, here we go. Here we go, right?
Go on, go on.
Ireland. Ireland.
Ireland. OK, well, listen.
It's a member state.
Let's see. No red line for you, obviously. You're already through. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ireland. Ireland is right. Takes you down to 9. Very well done indeed. Takes your total up to 11.
Well played, Brendan. Often gets forgotten in these rounds, so 9 points is really, really low. You know, there's 5 big scorers, which are Germany, Spain, Italy, Belgium and Paris. Those are the big scorers. And then Ireland is actually the biggest of the others. I'll go through the others, actually, for you. You've either got 8 points for Croatia, Netherlands, 6 points for Denmark, 5 points for Austria, Finland, Romania, 4 points for Estonia, or Stockholm, capital of Sweden. You would have got 2 points for Amsterdam, Hungary, Malta, and, of course, Sofia, which was a terrific answer. 1 point for Lithuania, for Nicosia, or for Vilnius. And there's 4 pointless answers, and they are here. The capital of Romania, Bucharest, is a pointless answer. Czechia is a pointless answer. We even accepted Czech Republic.
That's nice.
That also was pointless.
Yeah.
Ljubljana, capital of Slovenia, is a pointless answer. And the final pointless answer, Tallinn. Very well done if you said any of those.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. That brings us to the end of our second round. Means we have to say goodbye to another pair. And Sarah and Jake, I'm so sorry you are that pair for this round. We'll see you again next time. Look forward to it very much. Meantime, thank you very much, Sarah and Jake. But for the remaining 2 pairs, now time for the head-to-head. Oh, well done, Brendan and Sarah, Joyce and Martin. What a lovely lineup for our head-to-head here. We're one step closer to the final, a chance to play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £1,000. But before we play the head-to-head, let's see if we can't boost the jackpot a bit by finding a couple of pointless answers. Here goes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many horse and pony breeds as they could. Richard?
Yeah, and as always, there's 2 pointless answers up there and 2 incorrect answers as well. 250 quid for each pointless one.
OK, so 6 potential pointless horse and pony breeds coming up on the board. Let's see if we can find the actual ones. Here we go. Handspring horse, Connemara pony, Doon pony, Morgan horse, Florida cracker horse, and Holsteiner horse. There we are. And as ever, chat as a foursome, because it's really useful to pool our knowledge here, because it's in everyone's interest to find these.
Connemara is.
Connemara, I
Holsteiner
think
is,
Florida
I think.
cracker horses as well, actually.
I thought I'd heard of a Doon pony, but maybe not.
I don't think handspring horse is one.
Morgan horse is.
I don't think handspring horse
I
is the
don't
right
think it is
answer. I
either.
don't think that
Sounds a bit
sounds
odd,
right to
doesn't
me.
it?
No. Should we go for Florida cracker horse?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Let's go for Florida cracker horse.
Florida cracker horse. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Florida cracker horse.
Oh.
It's a horse. And it's behind us. Look at that. Straight out of the stalls. There we are. Florida cracker horse is a pointless horse. Joyce and Martin, let's see if we can find the double pointless here. Wouldn't that be exciting?
Go
Shall
on,
we go with
you-
Morgan? We go with Morgan?
You said that's
What
what you
way
wanted.
are your thoughts tending?
I want to go for Connemara pony, but Martin
we
wants
know
to go
it's
with Morgan horse.
Yeah, Morgan horse.
We're going to go for Morgan horse. Let's find out if Morgan horse is a pointless horse and pony breed. Well, so far so good. Let's not count any chickens.
Or horses.
Oh, get down to 3. There we are. That's a brilliant answer, but alas, not a pointless one. Richard.
Yeah, unlucky. 1 out of 2, though. Not bad. Not bad for this show. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's clear the rest of this board up. One of the incorrect answers there is the Doon pony. The wonderful Doon McKeekan used to write and star in Smack the Pony. Was an incorrect answer. The Connemara pony would have scored you a point. I think we've heard of the Connemara pony. And of those other 2, Holsteiner horse and handspring horse, one of them is pointless.
I'm inclined to think Holsteiner horse is a cow. I think Holsteiner's a cow breed, isn't it? That's
Interesting.
So therefore, there may be a Holsteiner horse, but I'm erring towards handspring.
Handspring horse. Let's take a look, shall we? Is handspring horse the other pointless answer? A rare
No.
slip from you, sir. It is the Holsteiner horse was a pointless answer. Handspring is the company who make all their puppet making company. They make, Warhorse, the incredible theatrical horse they make. That was made by the Handspring Puppet Company.
Oh, lovely. There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Well done. You managed to find 1 pointless answer. Not bad going, which means we can add £250 to the jackpot. Takes it up to £1,250. But who'll be paying for it? Let's find out in the head-to-head. First pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. You're now allowed to confer. Very best of luck to both pairs. Our first question this afternoon is all about people who have managed a football club they played for. Richard.
Yep, 5 pictures now of people who've managed the same team they once played for, but who are these people, please?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 pictures of players, then managers. A. B. C. D. And E. There we are. 5 people who have managed the teams they once played for. Brendan and Sarah, you're our golden couple, so you get to go first. Feel free to confer a bit more if you need to.
We recognise a few, but it's just getting the names right.
I think D is Kevin Keegan.
Okay. We're going to go with D.
Kevin Keegan. Kevin Keegan. For
Kevin
D.
Keegan. Kevin Keegan, say Brendan and Sarah. Now then, Joyce and Martin, do you want to talk us through that board?
I'll let Martin do that.
A, Glenn Waddle. B is Gareth Southgate. C, I know him, but I can't remember his name. And E, I think, is Niall Quinn, but I'll go with Glenn Waddle.
You're going to say Glenn Waddle. OK, so we've got Kevin Keegan versus Glenn Waddle. Brendan and Sarah have gone for Kevin Keegan for D. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Kevin Keegan. Kevin Keegan is right. It's a high score, though. 63 for Kevin Keegan. Meanwhile, Joyce and Martin have gone for A and are saying Glenn Waddle. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. No, I'm afraid not Glenn Waddle. That means after one question, Brendan and Sarah, you're up 1-0.
Martin, Glenn Hoddle, not Glenn Waddle. I'm so sorry.
I told you he's rubbish.
You're thinking of Chris Waddle, and they did team up to do a song called Diamond Lights, Hoddle and Waddle. But that is, listen, if you can't laugh at yourself, what can you do?
Exactly.
That is unlucky. Glenn Hoddle, of course,
he's got. I always think he looks a bit like. Looks like he's been drawn by Raymond Briggs. Glenn Hoddle, isn't he? He's got a
Little
lovely Raymond Briggs face there.
And he was manager and played for Spurs and for Chelsea. 35 points. You're quite right about Gareth Southgate. Would have scored 51, played for and managed Middlesbrough. Also England, of course, played for and managed 51 for him. C, played for and managed Crystal Palace and QPR. Well done at home. He said Ian Dowie, best answer up there. 15 points for Ian Dowie. And the last one, Niall Quinn. I can see why you'd think it was Niall Quinn, but it's not. It's David O'Leary, who played for and managed Leeds United. 23 points for David O'Leary.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, now, here comes your second question. Joyce and Martin, we need you to win this one to stay in the game. But you do get to answer it first, so that's slightly in your favour. Our second question is all about ABBA singles. Richard.
Yeah, 5 titles of ABBA singles now, but we've scrambled the letters of all of the words so they're in alphabetical order. Can you tell us what ABBA singles these are, please?
OK, so let's reveal our 5 alphabetical anagrams of ABBA singles. And we've got Achi Kutu, Aperçu Aperçu, Gikno Gikno Oi, Edifnur, and Aktgin Inku. I'm going to read those all again. Achi Kutu, Aperçu Aperçu, Gikno Gikno Oi, Edifnur, and Aktgin Inku. There we are. Very helpful when I vocalise those, I always find. So, Joyce and Martin will go first.
I don't think that will be long because of the queue. Everybody under that because of the queue. Fernando, Dancing Queen.
Super Trooper.
Fernando.
We'll go for Fernando.
Fernando, for the one up from the bottom. Fernando. Now, Brendan and Sarah, do you want to talk us through the board?
Right. Well, the top one's Chiquitita, and the second one's Super Trooper. And knowing me, knowing you, and yes, Fernando and Dancing Queen being the last one, I think Chiquitita. We're going to go for Chiquitita.
Chiquitita is what you're going for. So we have Fernando versus Chiquitita. Joyce and Martin went for Fernando, one up from the bottom. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Fernando. Fernando, absolutely right. Down it goes to 36, not bad. Brendan and Sarah, meanwhile, have gone for Chiquitita. Let's see if that is right. How many of our 100 people said it? Chiquitita is right. It's got to be 36. And it does. Oh, look at it does by a bit. Down it goes to 20. Very well done indeed. It means, by the way, Brendan and Sarah, after 2 questions, you are straight through to the final 2-0.
Yeah, very well done. And it's your last show as well, and you've got another show to go, so I guess it's sort of fair.
And Martin wanted to go Chiquita and I overruled him, so there you go.
That makes up my Glenn Waddle.
Shall we fit in the rest of these?
Indeed.
Super Trooper, if you'd gone for it, it was correct. Would have scored 46 points, so Chiquitita was the right way to go. Now, knowing me, knowing you, absolutely, it could be little else that, couldn't it? Would have scored 67, and at the bottom there, Dancing Queen actually scores even more. 75 points for that. Best ever ABBA song? Do you think?
I quite like Money, 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 actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Super Trooper's good. I never liked Super Trooper because I always thought it was about, like, a space ranger or something.
Oh, yeah.
But it's Super Trooper. It's one of the lights they have at the front of the stage.
That's right,
a Super
yeah,
Trooper,
a Super
which
Trooper.
is a light.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, I'm afraid it's Joyce and Martin. But it's not really, I'm afraid. It means we get to see you again.
Yep.
We get a third show out of you, which is lovely. We'll look forward to that very much. Joyce and Martin. But for Brendan and Sarah, it's now time for the Pointless Final. Oh, that's a lovely outcome. Congratulations, Brendan and Sarah. You've seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless Trophy. You now have a chance to win the pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £1,250. We just have to win it for you. What do you want to see come up? That's the issue.
Friends?
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
friends.
I'd like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Star Trek?
Yeah, Star Trek would be good too. Yeah.
Okay.
Just not history.
Just not history.
history.
Nice.
OK, well, let's see what the choices are for today. There'll be 4 of them, as ever. We can offer you Acting Nights, 2020 Grand Slam Tennis, Mercury Prize-winning rap albums, The Roosevelts. What do we think?
Grand Slam tennis is not for me, really.
It's not amazing.
Mercury Prize winner rap albums. I've
no,
never heard one in my
definitely.
life,
I
so
didn't
that's
even
not going to
do
work. And the Roosevelts, well, I only know the basics, so it looks like Acting Nights.
Nights?
Yeah.
Could be.
I guess so. Acting Nights.
Acting Nights it is.
OK, very best of luck. We're looking for any feature film made for cinema release up to November 2020, please, starring one of these 3. Please, any John Hurt film, any Derek Jacobi film, or any Michael Gambon film, please. So according to IMDb, any film starring one of those 3 gentlemen. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. As always, you've got up to a minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot of £1,250 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yep.
Thank you. Let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Well, yeah, so John Hurt was an alien, but I think that would be too high. He was also one of the doctors, but that doesn't help us. So Derek Jacobi was... so Michael Gambon was in the Harry Potter movies. So if we said a random Harry Potter movie, because I always think of Michael Gambon as in as Dennis Potter things. So...
Did you say Alien as a backup?
what we could do...
Alien 2? Is he in Alien 2?
No, he died in Alien 1. So. Well, Michael Gambon will go for a random Harry Potter one. We should say something like Harry Potter.
Is it in Deathly Hallows 2?
Yeah, he's in all of them. He started in Prisoner of Azkaban.
that one.
So, Derek Jacobi, all of his films have just suddenly gone blank on my mind.
10 seconds left.
And John Hurt, he was in a Stanley Kubrick movie, but I can't remember which one.
OK, that, I'm afraid, is your time up. Let's have your 3 answers. What can you give me?
OK, so with John Hurt, we're going to say Alien.
Alien, OK.
With Michael Gambon, I think we're going to choose 2 Harry Potters, because people might have said Harry Potters, but maybe not all of them. So we'll start with his first, which was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
And we'll say Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
OK, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. OK, of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer, do you think?
I'd probably say...
Prisoner of Azkaban?
Yeah, OK, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban we put last.
Yeah.
Least likely to be pointless.
Aliens,
Alien,
definitely
and
not
then
gonna
Deathly Hallows Part 1 goes into the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order, and here they are. We've got Alien, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. There we are. Well, 3 answers on the board. If any one of those turns out to be pointless, £1,250 will be yours. What would you like to do with that? Brendan, I'm going to ask you first.
I'd probably take it out in fivers and throw it around the room and get very excited about it, probably.
Very nice indeed. Yeah, I mean, that's a perfectly good thing to do. Then, obviously, you'd have to go and pick them all up
Well,
again.
yeah,
and
originally I thought pound coins, but then I think that would hurt.
I think
so.
you might. And you might lose some. You don't want that. Sarah, what about you?
I think it's been a long time, really, since we've had a holiday. So it'd be lovely to take our girls on holiday.
Very lovely. OK, well, very, very best of luck. Let's hope one of these answers wins it for you. Alien's your first answer. In this case, we're looking for John Hurt films. Let's see if it's pointless for £1,250. Alien. Well, he's right. No surprise there. John Hurt very much in Alien, unequivocally. And down we go with Alien through the teens to 14. There we are. 14 for Alien. It was a bit of a place filler, Alien, if we're honest.
Yeah.
So let's move on to more exciting territory. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 is your next answer. We are now looking for Michael Gambon films. Let's find out how many of our 100 people said it for £1,250. Might it be pointless? Well, Alien took us down to 14. Let's see where Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 takes us. Down we go through the teens, past 14, into single figures. Still going down, still going down. 1. Very exciting. Very, very close. We're within touching distance of £1,250. Can you win it with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban? Can that be pointless? He's right. Oh, are we down to 14 with your first answer? Down to 1 with your second. Into single figures, still going down with that Prisoner of Azkaban to 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you took us very, very close there. I'm afraid, though, you didn't manage to find the all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot, but you've been fabulous right the way through every show you've been in. It's been such a pleasure having you here, and you get to take home a pointless trophy each. So there we are, in recognition of how well you've done. So well done.
Really unlucky there. I mean, listen, you went for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. You might have gone out on a limb and gone for Part 2, because that was a pointless answer. Would have seen you taking the money.
I said Part 2.
Also, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was a pointless answer for Michael Gambon. Also, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire was a pointless answer for Michael Gambon. Now, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 would have been a pointless answer for John Hurt, who is in that.
Really?
So
Of course he is.
how much closer can you get to a pointless answer? He was also a pointless answer for Deathly Hallows Part 2 and a pointless answer for Philosopher's Stone, John Hurt, as well.
Wow.
So loads of Harry Potter answers there. Just you've
Should've
managed
been
to very cleverly avoid all of them. Just you weaved your way around them, I'm afraid. I'm so sorry. Now, John Hurt, let's take a look at some pointless answers. There's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. An Englishman in New York was a pointless answer. Scandal, V for Vendetta, all his films pointless apart from Elephant Man, Alien, 1984, Midnight Express, 10 Riddington Place, A Man for All Seasons, Hellboy, Hercules, King Ralph, and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Everything else a pointless answer. Let's move now on to Derek Jacobi. Some big films here as well. Gosford Park is a pointless answer. Nanny McPhee, The King's Speech, The Odessa File. He plays like the Archbishop, doesn't he, in the King's Speech? Everything pointless for Derek Jacobi, apart from Gladiator, Hamlet, Cinderella, Love is the Devil. Everything else a pointless answer. Now, Michael Gambon. You'll see the Harry Potter film there straight away. Dad's Army, he's in the remake of that. Paddington and Paddington 2, he has a voice performance in both of those. A dry white season as well. Other ones that scored for him, The Cook, The Thief, His Wife and Her Lover would have scored points. Sleepy Hollow and Layer Cake would have scored points. Judy, The Baker and The King's Speech would have scored points for Michael Gambon. Michael Gambon also in a film that you were in that was a pointless answer. Plunkett and McLean.
There we are. I was thinking of that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Very well done if you've got any of those at home, particularly those Harry Potter ones. And that's, for so many reasons, very, very unlucky.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. And thank you, Brendan and Sarah. It's been such fun having you here. I'm sorry you didn't win the jackpot today. That'll therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £2,250. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.